Yeah, I think I thought they bowled really well up top. The seamer that swung it back in, and we probably would have liked to be more after 10 overs with being only on 60, and I think credit to how they bowled, and it's probably something to look at, options with the bat and how we can increase that when they're bowling really good areas. But it's nice there to finish off that and have that partnership with Maddie, and we kind of knew that hitting good cricket shots to the sweepers, and if we time it well, we're going to get 2 or 4. But yeah, we probably wanted at least 20 more at the start of the day, but considering maybe the start we got, happy to get, I think it was 148. And then I think in the field we had moments of really good stuff and moments that were a bit sloppy as a group. So I guess that's another work on for us. And I think we came back and bowled again good in patches, but probably missed a little bit short and wide at times. And I think even though we got the win, we want to be critical of ourselves and how we can keep getting better, because we are preparing for the World Cup. And there were moments of really good things and a lot of good things that happened. But if we can do it for a longer period of time, that's how we're going to put together a complete performance.
So are you sort of used to a slightly different role here today, finishing? We went pretty well, 50 off the last 5 overs. Were you happy with that, and what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit of a floating water at the moment with what happens in the power play if we lose wickets, and the idea at the moment for us is to be really aggressive up top, and then kind of through the middle have myself, Maddie and Lauren to control that phase. So yeah, I guess for me, I've kind of batted in all positions for the White Ferns, and I've done a bit through the middle order and finishing games before. So again, it's just adapting to the situation, and because I've batted in a lot of different positions throughout my career, I've kind of had that chance to learn how to bat early in an innings or through the middle and finishing a game, and it's just about putting it all together. So it's definitely a good challenge, and something I've done in other teams around the world as well, and something that I do enjoy.
So you've got a World Cup to prepare for next year, and part of this series is to experiment a little bit. Are we likely to see many changes for the next game, a bit more experimenting?
I'm not 100% sure what will happen. Unfortunately, Jess McFadden was sick and couldn't be here, so that's a shame for her. We've obviously seen Rebecca Burns come in, and we've got the squad that we have, so I wouldn't say it would be too much different. It's been good to have the likes of Maddie Green with the gloves. It gives us an option to play an extra batter or an extra bowler, so it's nice for her to have that other skill option, but I'd say it should be pretty similar with only having today, we only had Jess on the bench.
Thank you. Much of those, when you're thinking about a World Cup, how much do you think about it at this stage, or is it very much focused on the week to week?
Yeah, I think at the moment it's definitely, for me personally, it's on the week to week or game by game basis. But you do know that you're preparing for the World Cup, and that's the pinnacle for us. But because there's been so much cricket recently, with since pretty much the Commonwealth Games and coming off the Big Bash and now here, for me it's just taking each game as it comes, and I think then as a group it's about seeing how we gel together, different combinations, and we can kind of use this time here to work out what our best side's going to be for that. But yeah, I think we've got to take each game as it comes, play our best for that, and know that that's going to help us prepare for what's ahead.
One thing I'm guessing that won't change, you mentioned earlier, that aggression at the top of the innings. I mean, that's just a reflection of the modern game, isn't it? That's the way you have to play. We've even seen it now in Test cricket, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely where the game's evolved, and with 2 fielders out in the first 6 overs, I think you've got to be aggressive and take on the game. You obviously don't want to lose too many wickets, as stats say that that's where wickets are most important, but it is where you want to be aggressive and make the most of the power play. So we've seen the likes of that in women's cricket and in men's cricket around the world, and I think that's a really important part to get your team off to a good start if you can make the most of that power play.
That sometimes doesn't work out that way. What's your mentality when you come into the middle of the order? I mean, I think we saw today exerting some pressure with running between the wickets. How do you manage that situation?
Yeah, I think for me it's almost taking the situation out of the game in a way when I come out to bat, because you don't want to go within yourself. You still want to be positive and play to your strengths, because to post a good score you still have to be positive, have good intent and play to your strengths. So for me it's the same. The game plan myself kind of stays the same. The risk level might mean that, you know, you go into gear 3 a bit later or whatever it may be. So I think for me it's still just getting in how I do, having the good intent, and then you just work out when to change gears from there. But yeah, I don't think it changes too much. It's about going about my game plan, and when you build a partnership like that, it's nice to probably have those last 3 overs where we got to really go a bit harder. But again, it's probably early on, it's running hard and trying to get 1s and 2s and picking up boundaries where you can.
What did you learn from the bowling today? I mean, it didn't look like they were going to get your total, so it was in that way it was a little bit strange. What was the chat out in the field to keep the pressure on them and take those wickets?
Yeah, I think we saw like some pretty good run outs there, with the likes of Georgia Plummer and her arm, but again it's keeping to the standards and the plans we have, and yeah, I guess for us I think we missed a little bit with the ball and we missed a bit in the field at times. We did some things that were great, but it wasn't probably consistent enough for us, and then that makes it harder to build pressure for longer periods of time. But yeah, I think if we keep bowling full and straight and at the stumps, that's whoever we play against, that's the best ball to bowl to win any batter in the world. And if we can tie these batters down here and mark ourselves on how consistently we bowled in the areas we bowled in, I think that's how we're going to improve and keep getting better.
Thank you. Just one more, Melie. Your fellow teammate Rebecca FERNS, fellow Blaze teammate Rebecca FERNS making her international debut. Can you just say a few words to that?
Yeah, it's awesome to see Rebecca get her opportunity out there to make her debut today. Her family flew down from Wellington, which is awesome to have them there and have their support. And yeah, she's a great girl, Beck. She's an awesome ball striker, and I think that's why she's been picked in this team, is because of her ability to strike a cricket ball. And yeah, hopefully we get to see more of that, and it's just awesome to have her here, to play alongside her, and to have another Otago College member in the team too.